The eclipse portal is opening, and with it, we're undergoing transformation that will permanently alter our lives. We're heading towards some of the most important healing shifts of the entire year. So get ready to receive these crucial angel messages for the full moon lunar eclipse cycle, starting on March 25th and spanning through April 7th, 2024. The full moon lunar eclipse occurs on March 25th, marking the beginning of the eclipse season and our entrance into a month of profound, life-altering transformation. Just to give you a sense of what is ahead for eclipse season, this lunar eclipse will be followed by an extremely powerful solar eclipse on April 8th. Then just one day before the eclipse season officially ends on April 22nd, we have the most highly anticipated cosmic shift of 2024, the April 21st conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus. Essentially, this eclipse season ahead is going to be an extremely powerful time for soul-level healing, ascension leaps in consciousness, and life changes that will permanently alter your path ahead. Now, a lunar eclipse, like the one we're having on March 25th, is essentially an extremely powerful full moon. Full moons are always about letting go of what no longer serves you, but a full moon lunar eclipse does this on a monumental level. Eclipses unlock faded soul contracts and align us with the timeline of our soul's highest intentions and destiny. This full moon lunar eclipse falls in the sign of Libra, just 5 days after the March equinox, continuing the equinox's energetic theme of healing for balance. Whatever needs rebalancing in your life is going to get a major dose of healing and transformation, especially related to Libra's biggest lesson areas, such as relationships and social networks. It's also important to know that this is a South Node eclipse. The South Node is a point in the sky that symbolizes the foundations and roots of your past. As such, you're going to be called to review the past and face what now needs to come to an end in your life. This is going to be like walking through a doorway that you'll never pass through again, a departure from the old that gives way to deep energetic clearing. A lunar eclipse that is aligned with the South Node symbolizes an incredibly deep cleanse for your life, an act of culmination, closure, and moving on that creates a full departure from the past. It is also important to know that the lessons and transformations that arise this eclipse season are part of a bigger eclipse cycle that began in April of 2023. We'll then revisit these same themes again in October of 2024 and March of 2025, meaning you're on a long-term path of incredibly deep-level transformation that will usher you into a brand new consciousness and a much higher perspective on your life. With this intense and exciting cosmic backdrop in mind, let's dive into the angels' 3 crucial messages for this lunar eclipse. All 3 of these messages will likely apply to your path in some way, but if you'd like to get a feel for which message is going to be your leading theme or soul lesson, then pick a number right now in your head, 1, 2, or 3. Whichever number you're drawn to first will represent your leading angel message. Ready? Let's dive in. The angel's first message for this lunar eclipse cycle is all about a relationship reset. According to the angels, relationships are ground zero for where you'll experience the most amount of spiritual growth in your life. During this eclipse cycle, your relationships are up for review. You're going to be guided to reevaluate whether or not your relationships do or do not serve your highest divine good. This is especially pronounced by the alignment between Venus, the planet of love and relationships, and Saturn, the planet of responsibility, structure, and long-term goals. This alignment symbolizes a deep emotional evaluation of your relationships and how they measure up to your long-term goals and your values. Since full moon lunar eclipses are all about endings, it is very likely that you'll be guided to either end a relationship that isn't serving you or cut a relationship cord. If you're at a crossroads in your relationship and need help, I highly recommend calling on Archangel Michael and inviting him to help you to cut any etheric cords of fear you may be holding towards this relationship. An etheric cord is essentially the energetic appearance of a fear-based mental attachment that either drains you or holds you in alignment with some kind of toxic energy. For help in cord cutting, I left the link to my cord cutting meditation in the description below so that you can use that to do some important energetic work on this with Archangel Michael. If you're in a toxic relationship that does not serve your highest good or is preventing you from reaching your full potential and fulfilling your soul purpose, then you'll be guided to realize it and take action to change it. This is reflected in Venus's sextile alignment with the planet of expansion, Jupiter, symbolizing the desire to expand beyond what you currently have in your relationship. This may be further pronounced by March 28th when Venus moves into a sextile with Uranus, the planet of freedom and revolution, symbolizing the yearning for more freedom and independence in a relationship. Now, not all relationships that are under scrutiny within this energy shift will necessarily end. In some cases, relationship contracts will be updated and edited to remove what isn't working and get all individuals involved on the same page with regards to upholding common values. Upholding shared values is the key ingredient to compatibility and relationship harmony. So, your angels will be guiding you to better understand where your true values lie and how to harmonize that with others. Now, on an even deeper level, your angels want you to know that this is going to bring forward a huge consciousness shift regarding your relationship attachment style. Essentially, you're going to be guided to better understand how you form attachments and why. So, as you review your relationships, ask yourself, are my attachments in this relationship honestly based in love, security, safety, and peace? Or are they based in insecurity, anxiety, or fear? If so, what are those fears? For example, at a deeper emotional level, is your approach to attachment based on the fear of abandonment, rejection, or lack of predictability and control in a relationship setting? Explore this with your angels and ask for their guidance in understanding the deepest root level of where you originally learned to attach in this way. When you heal at your roots, you can heal your attachment style such that you no longer attract relationships that continually re-trigger your deepest wounds and instead make way for a relationship of authentic safety and security. The angels are asking to take this to an even deeper and even more specific place. Your angels want you to know that one of the biggest relationship patterns currently under soul level pressure and scrutiny is people-pleasing. People-pleasing is, in truth, a profound act of self-abandonment and fear-based manipulation. Those who are most susceptible to patterns of people-pleasing are empaths. I am well aware of this as an empath myself and as a recovering people pleaser. You see, empaths have a high level of spiritual, emotional, and physical sensitivity. That sensitivity can be an absolute superpower and can help you to hold a very high consciousness of unity and compassion for the world. However, many empaths experience disempowerment when they learn as a result of toxic relationships to people please in an attempt to control or predict others. When you're in a toxic, unpredictable relationship, you fundamentally don't feel safe. An empath not only feels this, but also processes the emotional state of that other person in the relationship as if the other person's emotions are their own. So many empaths then learn to people please in an attempt to change the mental state of others around them and thereby try to feel safe. However, this is doing the opposite of making you truly feel safe. If you have to betray yourself by putting others' feelings and expectations before your own needs in order to manipulate and control the environment around you, you're never going to feel as if it is safe for you to be you or safe to trust in others. This is a huge collective shadow that is about to be illuminated so that empaths can rise into their power, which is exactly why I'm opening up enrollment for my Empaths Empowerment course soon. If you're an empath and you'd like to experience a revolution in personal healing and spiritual empowerment, then click the link I left for you in the description below to get on my empaths list so that you can be first in line to grab a spot in the course. Spots will be limited and granted on a first come, first served basis, so if you're feeling called to this, then be sure to get on that list. Overall, at its core, this current relationship healing energy shift is reminding us that everyone we meet is a teacher and a reflection of a deeper part of ourselves. We are all pieces of one another, united in one conscious whole. Even if you don't face your relationship conflicts head on during this eclipse cycle, there is still going to be a huge inner shift that will fundamentally change what you're bringing to the table in your relationships. This is good because you cannot truly avoid this healing or pretend the shift isn't happening. The divine energy flowing into our collective through this eclipse season is like a powerful medicine of the psyche and will be doing its work no matter what. The angel's second message for this lunar eclipse cycle is about self-discovery. During this lunar eclipse, we'll have a stellium, which is when 3 or more astral bodies align in one sign, occurring in Aries. This stellium includes the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Chiron, and Eris, all in the sign of Aries. Aries symbolizes an energy all about individuality, finding the self, discovering your truth, and claiming your inner authority. This is bringing up a big push to find your true values and align with them by cultivating an empowered relationship with yourself. Remember, relationships with others are powerful mirrors for discovering deep, sometimes hidden pieces of yourself. Since this eclipse is going to be so relationship healing centric, you're bound to discover hidden truths about yourself too. According to the angels, this self-discovery is going to be guiding you to upgrade your relationship with yourself so that your self-love is supporting your self-empowerment. There's a very assertive, warrior-like energy rising up around this urge for self-empowerment. You might find yourself wanting to shout from the rooftops, "I know who I truly am, and I am letting my truth lead the order of my priorities so that I can fulfill my highest divine purpose." Taking this even deeper, the angels want you to know that there is a high likelihood of your specifically being guided to clear power struggles, unmask ego's fear-based judgments, break free from elitism, and claim your true unconditional value. According to the angels, you are unconditionally valuable, precious, and worthy just for existing. You don't have to measure up to any external ideal in order to be worthy of love, freedom, or self-empowerment. Your self-worth is of uncontested, unmeasurable, infinite value, and you're being asked to wake up to this truth now. Anything in your life that isn't serving your power or your ability to center your perspective in your self-worth will be put under pressure to dissolve and clear. Since this is a South Node lunar eclipse, this may very likely mean discovering the deepest hidden roots of anything that caused you to learn to block out your self-love or self-worth in the past. It is time to face those old wounds, forgive and release attachment to them, and rise into a higher level of consciousness through self-love. In other words, the deepest purpose of the self-discovery that you're being guided to achieve is self-love. You're being guided to better understand yourself so that you can learn how to better love yourself. God is love, and God is also the source of all power in the universe. When you love yourself, you are not only seeing yourself as God sees you, but also aligning with the power of God and allowing that power to shine through you. You're now being guided to do a complete overhaul of your personal values so that they line up with your self-love. If any aspect of your life, beliefs, or patterns don't serve your self-love, then you're really going to feel this and get a strong dose of spiritual medicine to rearrange your priorities to better support your self-love. By the way, with the tight conjunction between Mercury, the planet of communication, and Eris, the minor planet of rebellion and fairness, you might feel called to assertively speak your truth in order to enact the equality and fairness that supports your self-love. This will initiate a major energetic upgrade in your throat chakra, your center of communication, your solar plexus chakra, your center of power, and your sacral chakra, your center of passion. Each of these energy centers are likely to unlock high frequency consciousness based in your newly reforming foundation of self-love and rising awareness of your inner truth. The angel's third message for the lunar eclipse cycle is about experiencing a spiritual healing breakthrough. The minor planet Chiron, symbolizing the wounded healer, is still conjunct the North Node, symbolizing our future collective destiny. This alignment will peak on the April 8th solar eclipse, so we're currently working our way up to the pinnacle of self-healing for 2024. Since the North Node represents our collective destiny, it means that our human collective will be undergoing mass healing. Any past wounds or traumas that have collectively shaped humanity's evolution will now be under a spotlight of healing. According to the angels, we're being especially guided to heal from the effects of victimhood, war, and conflict. This doesn't mean that all of the world's problems in these areas are about to disappear overnight. What it means is that we're being guided to consciously face these issues with a much deeper scope of awareness than ever before. This might mean that things feel more uncomfortable or challenging around these issues for a time, because in order to heal a wound, you have to face it first. That is what the archetype of the wounded healer is all about, facing the wounds within to gain an intimate understanding of them, which enables healing. According to the angels, there are many seeds currently being planted around social healing. As such, we may see a rise in demands for freedom, truth, and decentralization of power in societies all around the world. On a more personal, individual level, this healing is going to guide you to awaken to higher spiritual truths and activate your inner spiritual teacher. During this eclipse, Mars is conjunct Fomalhaut, one of the four royal stars symbolizing the spiritual teacher, and Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is the angel of communication, spiritual teaching, parenting, and healing the inner child. I tuned in to Archangel Gabriel for a message for this eclipse and received a vision of beautiful liquid light flowing into the collective psyche from the heart of the Creator Source. Gabriel then simply communicated the word, breathe. We're currently receiving an influx of divine light that will help us through a personal rebirth based in the discovery of our divine power within. Breathing is an excellent channel for integrating and grounding higher divine light, since air is a great element for transmitting spiritual energy into the physical realm. As we receive this influx of high-frequency divine light, many people's psychic gifts will either come online or sharpen. Pay attention to dreams, visions, synchronicities, and powerful inner messages you receive during this time. Your psychic current is rising in vibration, increasing your spiritual sensitivity and translating light codes into grounded information and new perception. The insight you receive at this time may totally change your life's path and help you to upgrade to a higher timeline for manifesting your soul's highest intentions for this life. It's also worth mentioning that on March 29th, the sun will be conjunct the dwarf planet Salacia in Aries. Salacia is the mythological wife of Neptune, representing mermaid energy, healing through the element of water, and the illumination of our light bodies. So not only will the element of air be important during this lunar eclipse, but so too will water. Water, like air, is also a powerful elemental translator of spiritual energy into physical energy. Your angels are urging you to spend time near bodies of water or soaking in a sea salt bath to help you integrate the new frequencies blooming in your light body during this eclipse season. This will help to usher in the energies of renewal, rebirth, fertility, and healing. In addition to breath work, as I mentioned before, and connecting with water, I highly recommend calling in Mother Earth and the archangels to help hold space for you as you receive your healing breakthrough and rise into new consciousness during this eclipse season. Thank you so much for receiving these messages and for liking, commenting, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. If these messages resonated, I'd be so grateful if you hit the like button, as this will help other spiritual seekers just like you find these messages in YouTube's algorithm. Do remember to check the links in the description to join my Empaths Empowerment list and do my Archangel Michael cord cutting meditation. And of course, know until next time that you are so loved and so very blessed. Bye!